Hello, everybody. This is going to be a quick demo on how to get going on the web scraper extension. So after you've cloned your repo inside the source folder, you'll find a package for each of the extensions, including web scraper. In there, you'll find two files. One is a little bit of a utility we provide, which allows us to connect to a website and get the document back for that. We'll end up calling this over here in weather report, which you're going to build. As you can see, we have this class. It takes a zip code. We build the URL for you, and then we're going to throw a not yet implemented exception. So in the main program, we create an ARGS processor, ask what zip code you'd like to look up, build a weather report for it, and print out some details. As you might imagine, this is going to crash right away, but that's not a problem. So let's run this as a Java application, and you can see it's going to ask us for 63130, and not surprisingly, it's going to throw that exception we're anticipating right here. And so what I can do is just start to work on this. So first of all, if I just wanted to print out that URL, now when I run it 63130, excuse me, see it prints this out before it ends up throwing an exception over here and get zip code, which obviously will hang on to this information so we can return it here. But now if I come over here and I open up a new tab and I just paste in that URL. Weather.gov is going to redirect us to a new place. It looks that up and then translates it into WebClick. That's not really a big deal. But you can see right now it's 74 degrees Fahrenheit and 23 Celsius and mostly cloudy, and the humidity is 67%. Those of you who check the videos between this one and the last one, a very short period of time has gone by and it is much warmer. That's welcome to the plains. And so again, like before, we could right click on this. We can view the page source and see the whole thing. We can also sort of right click on a particular element and say inspect, and that will show us just that one particular thing. So those are both useful tools within here to sort of figure out what we are looking for. Another thing I'm going to encourage everyone to do is you can go to try JSoup, in which you can both look at exactly a particular thing. You can input HTML here, or more interestingly, you can go to fetch URL, input the string you want, and it will pull that code exactly. Or pull the HTML down for you, and it's give you the exact same thing we will get over here when we pull it in a second. And this is useful. This is a useful site because it allows us to do the select queries that you're going to do for this assignment. So you can see it already has A here. This is all the links in this. If I do P for the paragraph tags, you can see all the paragraph tags in here. You can start to see some of these class names coming up, which is where we're going to be very interested in when we do select. There's a specific syntax for that, which I'll show you right now, might as well. So on the web page for Web Scraper, you can see if we go down here, not only do we have the links to a lot of these things, including the try JSoup, but over and over and over again telling you, by the way, check out select and how to use select. There's some interesting things here about the syntax and how to get things for particular instances. So for example, over here, we had found well, let me just look for it. It's the, what was it, current conditions, and there was my forecast current large. You can see that's a paragraph tag with a class my forecast current large, right? So we're going to end up looking for some of those things, and I encourage you definitely to check out this, but we can also use this JSoup part where, try JSoup, where we can both look through the text of what we pulled, but also we can see all the things that pass these particular queries. And you can type whatever you want in here will be sort of the very same thing that we're going to get over here when we're calling select from the code that I'm going to do right now. So you may want to hang on to this as an instance variable, the document that I'm about to grab here. So I'm going to call it the document that we pull back from JSoup utils.connect and get, which is this little utility we came over here that just calls connect and get and handles the exception. So it's a little cleaner for you guys. So now I can print out that URL, and let's just print out also document itself, this is calling toString, which, either way, it'll be the same thing. Now, when I run it, it'll, when I type 63130, it'll connect to this URL. And then you can see I'm printing out all of this text just like it had both in the viewing of the source, but also this try JSoup. This is what this HTML is coming down. And so with that, hopefully, again, you may want to hang on to this as an instance variable, or maybe you want to grab everything now. But either way, this should hopefully get you going on sort of some of the tools to use to dig into this extension. This extension, more than other extensions, has a fair amount of, digging into the documentation of, if we come back over here, both, sort of using this nice helpful reference on select, checking out what select is asking for, right? You might have to look up HTML. It looks like Chrome is trying to help me. You can look up these different classes that you're going to get back and try to figure out exactly what to do with them. And there's a fair amount of this sort of digging in on the web, which is a very reasonable thing to expect to have to do. And so with that, good luck on this extension. If you run into trouble, we'll be here to help.